this computer.
Go tit.
Oh, I'll kick us off today. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, and welcome to the Blurring the Lines podcast, episode number 172. I'm your host, Adam Bell. Joining me as always is my co-host, Peter Nikolaidis. How you doing, Peter?
I am episode doing well. How are you?
Episode doing well. Apparently, my brain is speaking another language today because we sometimes place the object in front of the,
subject descriptor, adjective.
Adjective. Man, it's been a long time since I've
sometimes we place word in front of word.
Go you now.
Watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, he has been.
We've only watched the first episode of that, though. It is. We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we covered that last week. My synopsis is it wasn't great, but it was good, and in general, I liked it better than like most of the movies. So, yeah.
So today is the first episode where I am. It's not our first episode recording from the farm, so we are blurring from the farm. But my previous recording from here was pretty lousy and pretty latent. And right now it's a little echoey. Sorry, Scott Wilsey.
Apologies to Scott Wilsey and our other tens of listeners who are experiencing this. Yes, but we know Scott is an audio perfectionist. If you don't believe me, listen to friendswithbeer.com or I don't know, he's on is he on any other podcast right now? I don't even know. But anyway, shout out to Scott Wilsey. We'll just put a link to the show notes to Scott Wilsey's podcasts. And, besides when he's on the occasional Blurring the Lines, Friends with Beer crossovers.
Mm-hmm. And some of my problems may be is I am on a really old computer. My Dell XPS that I'm supposed to be recording on right now is missing a critical USB 3.0 dongle. And my dongle is about 90 miles from here. So I am plugged up to an older Acer. I mean, it is an Acer laptop with a touch screen that came with Windows 8. And now it has Windows 10.
Wow. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. So, and the battery doesn't work. It's just like having a PC. So if the power flickers, it's gone. But hey, it's doing. I mean, I've got dual monitors set up here.
Nice.
Going. So it may be better next week when I actually have a computer that was built in this decade.
You know what I'm hoping is going to be better next week?
What's that?
My gut.
Your gut?
Yeah. A week ago, after after my long run, I came down with either food poisoning or stomach virus. And it's been a week and the symptoms are not 100% gone. Yeah. I have never had this happen before. Like I've felt a little queasy before for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
Never had to go 7 days.
I wonder if it's a weird side effect of COVID. Or did you?
I thought about that, but I hadn't heard anybody where like symptoms vanished completely for 2 weeks and then came back.
Yeah.
That sounded weird. I thought that did cross my mind.
Mm-hmm. But like my friend who has now high blood pressure.
Yeah, don't go there. I do not. No. We're not. No, it's not happening.
Your blood pressure just went up, threatening.
There's nothing. Oh my God, it's COVID. Oh yeah. So that really sucked. The run went fine, and then at the end of the run, I had one of my trademark patented spontaneous gushers of a nosebleed. Like 20 and a half miles, almost 21 miles, actually. Everything was fine.
That's an indicator of high blood pressure.
High blood pressure. I'm going to punch you in the mouth.
See, anger. That's.
Everything's a sign of. What are the symptoms of COVID? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that happened, and then my running buddy Greg and I went to this diner that we like afterwards, and ate a lot of food, and then I came home and I used the newly acquired meter
Hmm.
to grill some turkey burgers, and they were like 185 degrees, so there shouldn't have been anything living in there.
Yeah.
But that night I came down with symptoms, and I was just like, this sucks. And then the next morning they were still there. And the next day they were still there. I'm like, what the hell? How long is this going to last? And I had company scheduled to come in from out of town. And I was like, I think I have food poisoning. And they said, we're going to skip just on the off chance that it's a virus instead. And I was like, oh, son of a.
Yeah. But I wanted to see you. All right, guess not.
Oh, oh. So that happened.
It's
So as a result, I once again, oh, and that was the best part. I mean, the best part. After me effectively not teaching yoga classes for like a month with like one class in between, I
Mhm.
was scheduled to do 3 classes in a row, back to back, Tuesday afternoon and evening.
Oh, after
Because
being
my friend
migrated.
Holland, who will soon be moving away, was also out of town this week. She's going over to New York to visit friends or family or something. And so I was like, yeah, I'll sub for you. She's like, can you do both classes? I was like, it's going to be a marathon, but I'm used to those by now. So yes, I'll bring some electrolytes, some peanut M&Ms and, snacks, and I'll be good to teach 3 classes in a row.
Mhm.
That morning and the night before, I was like, I'm going to have to let the owner know I can't do this. This is going to suck. That morning, I finally, I was like, I have to let her know. I was like, Jenna, you're not going to believe this. I'm sick. I don't think I can't do this.
Mhm.
And it was a day of scrambling to find, coverage for this, for not only my own class, but the 2 I was subbing for.
Mhm.
So in the end, it was nice. Another teacher who we joke is a subbing superstar or a subber star, she stepped up and she was able to sub my afternoon class. I felt good enough to teach my yin class, and I think it actually turned out really well. But we ended up canceling the 7:30 flow and restore class, or flow and meditation class, which is a bummer because that was the one I was like really looking forward to teaching, because it's not something I normally do.
Mhm.
Um, but in the end I was like, yeah, I probably could have, but I would have been pushing my luck. So in the end it worked out okay. so
Okay.
so yeah, but it was still disappointing. I do not like letting people down,
Mhm.
and I was like, I was really apologetic to her, and she's just like, you didn't count on a stomach virus. I was like, yeah, I don't care. Right? I said I was going to do something and I didn't do it, and that makes me angry. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that
So
could have been really embarrassing if you're, yeah.
yeah, excuse me, I need to go throw up now. Thank you. Just grab the meditation bowl.
It doesn't
Oh,
ring anymore.
sounds weird. Tone is different. So, oh man.
All right.
So yeah,
So you did something exciting this week.
this morning.
Yes.
Yes. I ordered my M2 processor MacBook Air today.
Fancy.
Oh yeah. I decked that sucker out. It's like, yep. I told you before we started recording, I was sitting there looking at it and saying, like, nah, I don't need, at 16 gigs of RAM is going to be fine. Half a terabyte storage is going to be fine. I don't need 10 GPU cores. 8 is going to be fine. And then I was looking at it, I was like, it's only like $100 more. Sure. Throw in a couple more GPU cores, and 16 gigs versus 24 gigs. I have never, ever said, wow,
I
this
need
computer has too much memory.
too much memory. I just can't
Fine.
handle it.
Just throw it in there. Great. I'll take the extra RAM, just max it out 24 gigs. And let's go for a terabyte. Terabyte of storage. Fine.
Yep.
Yep. Just do it. Just do it. So I maxed this sucker out, and I placed the order, and it will be available a month from now. So,
A month from now. All right. Well,
August 9th. Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently they were saying some of them were going to be as ready as early as next week, but I, did tweaks and customizations and things. So it's going to extend it out a little bit. So,
And I did
all
take
right.
a look at the pictures that you sent, and it looks like they've redesigned the Air. So there's the little divot, kind of like the Pro, where you can actually open the handle. Because
Yep.
one of the bummers about the old Air was it fit so tight and was so thin. You're like, it's like trying to take a sticker off. How the heck do I open this thing?
Yeah. And that's the thing that's funny. It's something I've actually been working on. Like, I normally keep my nails pretty short.
Hmm.
And out of habit, I would every now and then, like nibble them and stuff. So I'm trying to get out of that. But
Hmm.
I've noticed that when they get to a certain length, I start hitting the keys on the keyboard with my nails.
Yeah.
I don't like that. And ladies who have deliberately long nails, I do not know how you do that.
And you
It
can hear them ticking it too.
I lose, it's so weird. I lose typing accuracy based on like less than a millimeter of nail growth. And I don't understand how, like, I've seen women with like inch long claws on the end of their, talons here. I
Hmm.
don't know how they do this. I just don't understand. But as a result, though, I would be able, with now I have enough fingernail, I could open one of those old MacBook Airs.
Yeah.
But apparently now I don't need it, so I can go back to biting my nails.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
Yeah. Well, biting your nails, that's a dirty habit.
yeah, let's I'll deal with it. I'll just clip them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Just lick your shoe instead. I mean, that's
blah, gross. So while I did have symptoms of food poisoning or a virus or whatnot, I did catch up on a lot of TV series that I was behind on.
hmm.
Did a little bit of reading, not as much reading as I kind of wish I had, but did watch some cool things. And I did enjoy The Terminal List on Amazon Prime Video. It's Chris Pratt's latest thing. It's like a Tom Clancy novel, you know.
Yeah. So
Enjoyed it.
I started it. I haven't finished the first episode. I've got like 5 minutes left in the first episode, but I did enjoy it, and he was I almost didn't recognize him. I'm like, this guy looks so much like Chris Pratt. Is it him? I mean, I had to look it up and make sure. I mean, because he's really gritty. I mean, he's playing a Navy SEAL.
Yep.
So, when he had his beard on and his hair
Yep.
long, it made him look a little bit different.
Yep.
Enough to where I was like, that's Chris Pratt. Or maybe this guy really looks like Chris Pratt. you know?
Well, he definitely does that body transformation thing depending on what movie he's doing.
Hmm.
So I just saw him again yesterday because I went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder as well in the theaters. It was fun. But he definitely, can, crank himself up and down depending on what roles he's done. Similarly, also, Russell Crowe, no
Oh yeah.
spoilers here. Russell Crowe was also in Thor: Love and Thunder as Zeus.
Oh yeah.
And he's kind of like, a little, he's still got some weight, around. He's slowing down a little bit.
Hmm.
But the last movie I saw with him, I think it was last year, he did an Amazon Prime movie. I think we talked about it too. I forget what it's called, but it's all about him being a guy who snaps under road rage.
Oh, okay.
And like the previous day he goes and, well, no, minor spoiler, but it's like the opening scene. It opens with him killing his wife and her new partner.
Yeah.
And it just goes down from there, right? But he's a big, he's got poundage in that movie. He's
Uh-huh.
not like a super fat guy, like not morbidly obese, but he's obese. He's got lots of what. But you compare that to, say, the transformation between Gladiator, and he's more like or now more like he was in Master and Commander. So
He wasn't in Gladiator. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. He was
oh
Gladiator.
yeah, he was.
I was
You're thinking
thinking
Chris Pratt?
300. Yeah,
Oh, 300.
300.
Yes.
I was like, that's Gerard Butler. But
Whatever.
yeah.
But it's pretty impressive, the transformations that actors go through for Hollywood. And you'll see, like, I snagged the latest latest issue of Men's Health magazine. The corner studio, the where I teach, the yoga studio, they get them. Like some time ago, they got on a list and they just send it to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And when the teacher remembers, she hands it to me because I'm like the token male instructor there. And when she forgets, she just throws it out. And I sat down last night and, oh, look, here it is right in the trash. So here's my episode, or my latest issue. And Chris Pratt is on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And, so they'll always have like, oh, this is Chris Pratt's, transformative workout. This is what he does. And I've looked at them, I looked at the ones that he does, and Hugh Jackman and Chris Hemsworth, and, all of these. And like some of them look pretty radical, and, like it's full diet transformation, personal trainer. And I'd like to do one of those sometimes, but like, as you know, I'd need a trainer or an accountability buddy or something, so, but yeah.
Well,
So yeah, anyway.
at least in the first episode, the other guy who's Chris Pratt's friend, he was
Yep.
the kid from Friday Night Lights.
Oh, I didn't know that. I never saw that.
I watched Friday Night Lights. The first half of the first season was interesting, and then it turned into a drama. It was a drama that was football themed, and I was like, I'm out.
Got it.
There's
Okay,
no
now I
fun.
remember seeing the previews for it. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know anything about that. So what else? What else?
All right. And Prime Day, even if you're not shopping on Amazon.
So we don't focus as much on Amazon devices and stuff as we used to on this podcast. That was a recurring theme a while ago. We were both big into Amazon and Echoes and the Lady in the Tube, and probably somewhat influenced by the fact that I was dating a senior developer for the Amazon A Word project. But guys, whatever.
Yeah.
That's water under the dam, leaking under the dam there. But Amazon Prime Day is this weekend, July 12th and 13th.
Yeah.
So if you need another Echo device or some such, now's the time to do it. Okay, look kind of cool. I took a quick glance. Nothing really jumped out at me. Some new memory foam pillows looked kind of nice, but the dimensions are really bizarre, and I don't have cases for those. So I was like, I'm not gonna bother. But the way I found out that Prime Day is this weekend is I got an email from a local running sports store chain, who coincidentally recently sold. They've sold to another larger, firm, but they're local to this area. And they're saying like, celebrate Prime Day. And, with this discount code, it's Prime 22.
Yeah.
Thing is, they're not selling on Amazon. This is their own website. So this own non-Amazon based retailer is having a Prime Day sale. And I was like, well, hell, if everyone's getting in on it, sure. I mean, this is great. So it just now Amazon has gotten everyone else to drive their own prices down, even if you're not selling on Amazon now. I was like,
Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, well, I guess that's economics, right? They're driving supply up by cutting prices down and yada yada yada. So demand goes up, and then the other marketers have to keep pace. Competition. So it's kind of interesting.
They've become a market and influencer.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who doesn't realize that Amazon is a market influencer is
ignorant.
Oh God, I was going to say something about voting preferences and anti-vaxxing, but I'm not gonna. Anyway, yes, yeah. So yeah, ignorant. But yeah, so I watched all of the Terminal List, which I noted that they released all at once. The whole series was out there because it was like coming July 1st or July 3rd or whatnot. And I watched the first episode and it finished. It's like, and then it moved on to the second episode. I was like, oh, I guess they released a couple episodes, because that's what some places have been doing. Disney Plus did that, and Amazon did that, I think, with The Boys. I don't remember. So I watched the second episode, and then the third episode is on. And I was like, okay, well, maybe not tonight. But the next night I watched the third and the fourth. Then I was like, they Netflixed it. Yeah. They did the whole thing like Netflix does. Just boom, here's the whole series, binge away. So yeah, it wasn't great, and stuff, but I enjoyed it. You know, the plot was interesting. The acting was decent. The choreography was decent. You know, the fight scenes were decent. So I was like, all right, I enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
um, almost caught up on Ms. Marvel. I definitely caught up on rewatching the old Netflix Marvel series.
Yeah.
So finished Punisher a night or two ago, and I finished Jessica Jones season 2. Now I'm moving into season 3, which I've never seen before. So that's new to me too. So that's cool. And as I mentioned, yesterday afternoon I had tickets and went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder. I enjoyed it. If you liked Thor Ragnarok, if you
Mhm.
liked the humor and the funny, bits, that was definitely Taika Waititi's influence.
Mhm.
You'll probably like Thor: Love and Thunder. And if you don't like that spin where he's taking things on a slight left turn, this thing is you're gonna hate this movie. So it was pretty good. It definitely follows a Marvel-ish type formula.
Mhm.
But it made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
And there are so many callbacks to the Thor comic series back when I was actually buying it. Thor was never really one of my favorite comics, but
Mhm.
there was a time back in the 80s when I was buying just like everything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of series that happened when I was buying it, and then some that happened after I had stopped, but I was familiar with the idea though.
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I had read a review where they said that they filmed a lot of it on virtual backgrounds, so using these giant LED screens as opposed to like drop sets. Now apparently that's a thing for the bigger studios.
Mhm.
um, and people were complaining about the quality, like it looked really fake. The background looked like they were standing up against a scene.
Mhm.
And the guy who was reading it suspected that within the next few weeks, if you go see it again, it will probably look better. And something I had learned, I didn't realize, like I knew that if you when something is released to streaming or DVD or Blu-ray, that they make tweaks to it, and they'll change little things. And I always thought, but until I knew that, I thought I was nuts, because I was like, that's not what they said in the movie.
Yeah.
Like I saw that, but I swear it was different, but how do you got to prove it, right? You can't go
Yeah.
back to the movies to see it after it's been released on, disc or at home. But apparently it's a thing, and Marvel is notorious for tweaking and changing things even after stuff is released in the theaters.
Huh.
And so he speculated that if you go and see it on opening day and then you go back in a few weeks, that the quality will probably be better and they'll tweak and adjust certain things.
Mhm.
However, since I saw it in IMAX 3D with those crappy 3D effects, which I really kind of hate, but this was the only time slot that it was available to see it for me on opening night,
Right.
I didn't really think that the quality was all that bad, because I was looking at it through grime covered 3D lenses, and I wasn't wearing my glasses or my contacts and stuff, so
Yeah.
probably wouldn't look any different. So anyway,
And 24 by 768, just fine. It's
yeah,
HD.
yeah, yeah, it's perfect. It's HD enough for me.
HD enough. That's
HDE. So yeah, that was fun. So how are you, and how is your relationship with Apple and Bluetooth these days?
uh I've not had any problems. I mean, I did my Apple Watch
Yep,
with my Jabra Bluetooth, zero problems with it.
yep,
Um, I do have some of my older Bluetooth,
yep.
like I've got an FM modulator in my truck.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, it just won't connect to the Bluetooth on my phone. And
Yep,
I just turn Bluetooth off,
yep.
turn it back on, and it comes back on. Why do you have?
So I have two Bluetooth stories, and they both have to deal with the AirPods.
Hmm.
Last year, sometime during the pandemic, when things were bad, I was walking across a parking lot, and there was an AirPod Pro on the ground,
Yeah.
and I picked it up, and I said, okay, what do I do with this? Right? Do I There are literally dozens of stores around here. Do I take it to one of them? Do I take it to the police? Do I throw it back on the ground? You know what? I'm just going to hang on to it. I'm just going to keep this, because a spare earbud, of any sort has proven to be very reliable for me. It's a good thing to have. The way I burn through those Jabras and all those other things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure enough, last week, you may have recall in the Friends with Beer chat with you and listener of the show, Scott Wilsey, I mentioned that my right AirPod was having battery issues.
Yeah.
And this had been going on for a while. I would put it in and it would say battery low, or bloop, 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 or not work at all. And I would stick it back in the case and the phone would show it at 1% charge or 10% charge.
Yeah.
But I would stick it back in the case and suddenly it's 71% charge. I was like, I do not think that means what you think it means. So that happened. And then this time when it happened, I remembered, I was like, I found that other one like a year ago. I wonder if I still have it. And I dug around in this drawer and I found it. Sure enough, it was the right one, which was also the one that was failing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's give this a shot. So I went, set the other one aside, unpaired everything, forgot about it from my iOS and iPad OS devices, stuck them in the case, said pair, and it had to charge. So I had to, okay, it didn't work. So I waited a little bit, came back 5 minutes later, said pair, worked like a charm.
Yeah.
And so I was like, awesome. So I took the old one, chucked that, and okay, great. Things are working fine. And then today, I'm trying to listen to a podcast or attend a call or something on my iPhone. And I say, okay, AirPods, let's connect. And I start to hear something and it like stutters, and then it stops playback and it goes back to iPhone as the output. I'm like, go to AirPods, you show you're connected, and then it pops up a little message at the top of the screen, a little banner on my iPhone, connected to iPad. And I'm like, why? Oh, so I forgot when I repaired this thing, when I had my iOS devices forget about it, my Apple devices just forget about it. It goes to the default setting where it will automatically connect to your preferred device. And I'm holding the two devices, side by side. Here's my iPad, here's my iPhone. I'm here literally playing the button on the iPhone, hitting the play button, going to select connect to AirPods Pro. But no, Apple knows better. It knows that it wants to connect to the iPad, which is doing nothing. So I remembered, oh yeah, I have to turn that stupid feature off. And it's just like, I don't know anybody for whom that actually works. I have heard so many different podcasters complain that the AirPods will connect to whatever iOS or iPad OS or even Mac OS device you are not using. And that just drives me nuts.
What's that feature called?
Connect automatically. So if you go into settings and go to Bluetooth, go to the info button or the info icon on your headphones.
Mm-hmm.
And then there, if you scroll down, it'll say like connect to this iPad or connect to this iPod, and the default is automatically.
Mm-hmm. It may
Change
be
that.
It may be because none of I don't have any iPods. All of mine are third party.
That's it. Yeah, it has to be an Apple product.
Yeah,
it has to be an
not
Apple product.
Intelligent enough. So, I mean, I took your advice. So when I have two Jabras, and I did one to my phone and one to my Apple Watch, and I made the phone forget the ones that I put on my Apple Watch because you had said they might bounce back and forth, and I've never had a bounce.
That's it. If there's nothing to bounce between, you don't have this problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Brother.
Well, just a feedback on the Audible on the Apple Watch.
Oh yeah.
It's not very good for what I want to do. It doesn't sync well. And I don't understand why it doesn't sync well, because most audio books, a 14-hour book is 200 meg. So the watch has plenty of space to store that file, but what it does is it's doing incremental synchronizations between what I've listened to on Audible, and then it's trying to keep that in sync. And it would be better if it downloaded the whole file and then just remembered, told itself some information.
But I guess we're gonna have Scott back on the show because we've referred to him like 3 times now. but he would be one to go into the shortcomings of the Apple Watch and why stuff doesn't work like you want to. And I suspect most of it, he's gotten probably most of that from Marco, who's the developer of Overcast, who loves to, point out the failings and work around the failings of the Apple Watch in his app, which is Overcast, which is my preferred podcast app. So,
Yeah.
and many people's preferred podcast app.
Well, and I think it's got to do, it may be more, it may have more to do with the way that I want to use it is not optimal. And sometimes that's just the case. If I were just wanting to listen to a podcast and I only listen to it on my Apple Watch, I think it would be fine. But I want to be able to hop in my car and listen to it on my phone because my phone is plugged up and everything's charging. I don't want to run it from my Apple Watch. If I were committed to just listening to it on one device or another, I think it'd probably be fine. I think. But because I want to switch between the two, it doesn't work out well. And then I've also come down to the farm where like I went on Wednesday and set it to synchronize a book to my watch. I think on Saturday I'll be able to listen to it. By then, surely it will have synced. And I put my watch and it's like chapter 1. No.
Yep. You know what else does that? For me, especially, so I think like you have a Fire TV, right? Fire TV stick, and I have the Fire TV Cube.
So I have a stick.
Yep.
And then I have the new one that's like it comes out like a triangle, or it's a
square,
but it plugs in the end.
The Fire TV Geometry, I believe it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whichever, they're all run the same, the same like basic interface. So it will often, it's been telling me like, hey, you should watch The Punisher, right? Marvel's The Punisher. You can watch it on Disney Plus or on Netflix or something. And if I click it from the home screen, it always wants to start season 1, episode 1. And so I have to first open Disney Plus, and then I have to scroll down, and then I have to find The Punisher, and then it will give me the option to resume where I left off.
Yeah. I assumed that was a feature.
I like you're still opening up the same app to show me this. Maybe throw some logic to just show me the series and not say you're going to start off at this specific location, which is always minute 0 of episode 0. It's like, why? I don't little things, because like, yeah, I want to watch Punisher, click, and then the worst part is it starts over again. So the next time I open it up in Disney Plus, it's like pick up where you left off, back on episode 1.
Yeah, I've experienced that same thing, and I've just found that if I find something on there that I'm already watching, I will not click it because I will be punished for that.
You'll be punished. The Punisher will visit you. Yes. But that's the thing, is like, I forget, I open it up and like right there on the home screen, Punisher, that's what I want to see. Yes. But not this. I was like, wait, I've seen this before. Oh, no.
Well, and I don't know if you know, did you watch Bosch on Amazon?
No, you recommended that to me. It's still on my list, but I have not seen it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Of course, I read all of the books. I think I'm caught up with all of the books that have been written by Michael Conley on Bosch, and the crossovers with the Lincoln Lawyer as his stepbrother, and then him and I'm forgetting her name right now, but she's another detective new. So I've enjoyed it. But so the last one, Bosch Legacies, they have moved that over to Freevee, which I guess is owned by Amazon. I don't know for certain. I don't know who owns Freevee, but
doesn't Amazon own everything?
Yeah. That's Microsoft and Apple, and I guess Amazon now.
And Google. Don't forget Google.
Don't forget Google.
And Warren Buffett.
Yeah, Warren Buffett owns them all. He's the ring of power. But so Freevee, they do commercials on there, and while I would rather, I don't want to have another subscription, so I guess the commercials are acceptable, but at least the commercials They have a timer on there that shows how long the commercials are going to be on there, and they're not the same commercial every time, because that would be my biggest complaint. We tried to watch the new CSIs that came out, and we had to watch the same three commercials in every commercial break.
I have been there. I did that with, I think I was like Hulu or something. I
Yeah.
think I did that on Hulu and it was just terrible. Yeah, I think Freevee is an Amazon thing. But I think that's I think Amazon is to Freevee as Disney is to Hulu.
Okay.
I think that's where they just throw all their crap stuff that's old and stuff,
Yeah. But Bosch is new. I mean, so they
Oh,
did,
so the new episodes are there now?
yeah, the new episodes are in Freebie. So the old,
Oh,
like, I don't know if there are 5 or 6 seasons in Amazon, and then the new ones in Freebie.
interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not a huge TV guy, but when I'm sick, I become one. So
Yeah.
maybe I should get up to date on these.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah, we're gonna get a recliners down here so that we can actually watch TV. We don't have, I mean, we don't have a TV up.
I thought you were going to say so you can record in comfort or something.
Yeah. Like in Wally. Where are
Yeah. Oh God. So what else you got for today?
let's see here. I didn't have a whole lot. Yeah, we are. Oh, I did learn something today. I didn't even considered marketing lavender. You were talking about Amazon.
Yeah.
So you can sell products on Amazon, and it is a very thorough process to become
Hmm.
a vendor on
Yes.
Amazon.
Yep.
So we're going to be looking at that for our lavender products.
Beware of the return policy.
Oh,
They hold you to a high standard on both delivery and quality and customer feedback and returns.
yeah. My return
And
plan policy is you keep it, you throw it away. I mean,
yeah, well, that's like I have a friend who sells shoes on there, like ladies' shoes. Apparently, they're like convertible heels that
wow.
switch between heels and like flats. But like every time if someone returns anything, it costs him $7. And this was like 5 years ago. So now it probably costs him like $15 every time there's a return or something. So just go in and with an open mind on all the conditions and everything, and also consider Shopify,
Yeah.
or something else. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, it's funny because one time I got a car tail light. Like they shipped me a car tail light assembly from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And I contacted Amazon more as just a plain old courtesy of saying, "Hey, I received this. I didn't buy this. I didn't get charged for this. I mean, it's not like I bought something else and then this can't, that the orders got crossed." I said, "This is not mine at all." I said, "I'll drop it off. If you send me a label or a return label, I'll drop it off or whatever." And they said,
Yeah.
"Throw it away.
Yep.
It's more."
Because most returns apparently go straight into the landfill.
Yeah.
And that's why if we're just going to throw it away, there's no need for us to do it. We'll just let you do it.
Yeah. No need to waste money on that.
Yep. Yep. And I believe I'm far from an expert, but I believe that returns are sort of like chargebacks on credit cards. They sort of affect your reputation.
Yeah.
If everybody is returning everything, you're probably selling garbage,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Cool.
cool.
So what is your run schedule right now? So you were
As soon as we're done, I'm heading out for 17 miles.
okay.
It's a
Well,
rest week.
the rest week.
Yes. So this week we step back a bit.
So when
However, this is going to be the hard part. And honestly, I'm very concerned about this. I'm supposed to get in 2,652 feet, I think, of elevation. So yeah, ooh, yeah. This one is, I'm concerned because I don't know where, like I did not plan to like go up to, mid New Hampshire or anything for this run. So I told Greg, who's running with me now, my running buddy, that, get ready for a lot of hill repeats. We're
Mhm.
going to just have to probably hit, the highest peaks like 5 times in a row and just crank it up and then move on and do flat stuff and then go back and hit the heavy stuff again. So I've got about 1,600 calories worth of M&Ms and their compatriots packed away, ready to go. A lot of water. And as soon as we're done recording, I'm heading out to the trails, and then we're coming back to my place for beer and burgers,
Beer and burgers. That sounds
and possibly bitching about how the run went.
great. So remind me, when is the official run?
September. It's only 2.5 months away.
Uh,
Yep. So about, so it's the clock. No, a month and a half. Jeez.
mhm.
Yeah. Math is tough. So that's going to be interesting. But one of the things that I did buy, which is pretty nifty, which I've been using on my runs,
Uh-huh.
are those Cardine earbuds that I mentioned last episode.
Where's that country? Kurdine. I'm not sure. Is it near Kurdistan or
It's part of China.
part of China?
That's in the country of Shanghai, I believe.
It's in
These are cheapo knockoff things. They pretty much are feature comparable to the Jabra Elite 65Ts,
Mhm.
which we've mentioned numerous times. However, the Jabras do one thing that these don't, and these do one thing that the Jabras don't. Well, a couple things. The Jabras have noise suppression, which is
Mhm.
not all that good.
Mhm.
The Jabras also have, pass through, which is also not all that good. These don't have either of those. And the Jabras you can set up as a word devices in addition to whatever your phone's built-in assistant is.
Yeah.
These do not do that. These just use your phone system. So I can talk to Siri through these buds. What these do that the Jabras do not do is similar to the AirPods. You can use either the left or the right.
Mhm.
And that's nice because after years of, wanting to like bike with one ear open or, like wear one pod and have it available, it was always the right, because on the Jabras, the microphone is on the right side and you can't just put the left one in. It
Right.
doesn't work without the right. These guys do work without them. The design is similar to the Jabras. It's the same style with just a little thing that sticks in the ear canal, and then the rest of it, there's no like hook or anything like that.
Mhm.
But they stay in my ears really well. I've gone out on, a couple of short, 2-3 mile runs and, had to touch them once or twice.
Mhm.
So they're pretty good. So overall I like them. The one thing too, that's the other part when you have them both paired in, if you press and hold the right side, it increases volume. If you press and hold the left side, it decreases volume. You don't have that functionality when you have just one in, so volume control is a little spotty. But most of it, there's a combination of press and hold and haptic feedback. So you can like tap twice to fast forward, tap once to pause. I think
Mhm.
it's like tap 3 times for the virtual assistant or something, or I don't remember all of them.
Knock twice on the pipe if the answer is
If
no.
the answer is no, if or knock 5 times to return something to Amazon. But I bought them. They were on sale. They were $20, a third of the price. The last time I don't know. Originally the Jabras were like 120, $140 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then the price went down steadily. But these are still way cheaper than the Jabras were the last time I looked for them. And they're great. And the case is slightly smaller. They're slightly smaller form factor. They claim a better battery life. But the big thing for me is like I do slightly miss pass-through, noise cancellation features, but I
Mhm.
generally don't use noise cancellation when I'm out running.
Yeah.
I usually, if I'm like running along a path by myself, like a pavement bike path kind of thing, I'll wear 2 AirPods or earbuds and I'll be fine. If I'm out in the woods, I generally don't like that, so I'll do one at a time, but it's nice because I can just put in the left one and go for an hour. And then if that ear starts getting tired, I can just pop them out, switch to the other side and keep running and let the other one recharge. So overall, I like them. I'd buy them again. And, I even wore them a little bit around. Oh, that's the other thing too. Sound quality seems way better than the Jabras as
Oh,
far as
really?
listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Not quite as good as the AirPods,
Mm-hmm.
the AirPod Pros, but yeah, overall, for $20, decent. I think now they're back up to the regular price of like $26 or something. But still worth it.
So, a quick question: have you used the Jabra 75 or the 85? I haven't
Yeah.
either. I was tempted to buy the latest version.
Yep.
I've been so disappointed lately with buying the latest version of things that they've
Hmm.
changed for the worse. And I'm like, these 65s work perfectly for me. So
Yep.
as long as they're still selling them, I'm just gonna buy another one.
And I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if they're still making them, but I know they're still selling them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not opposed to new things. I haven't done the research, so I didn't want to. I
Yep.
need another set, but I didn't want to test guinea pig
Well,
myself on it.
here's the thing. Surprise, surprise. Remember I told you how much now I look at them and they're $89 or here's one they're selling. Yeah. Amazon, I see them renewed at $60
Yeah.
or apparently also new at 65.
Yeah. So I bought brand new and I've bought renewed, and
Same.
I've had the same result out of both of them. I
Yep.
mean, they've both been good.
Yep.
Now, I was thinking about something. You said that the noise suppression wasn't good for you.
Yep.
Uh, the noise suppression is really good for me, but I'm riding a tractor. So I thought about it. There's a big difference in me riding a tractor. My movement is pretty much the same. Where with
Mm-hmm.
you running, there's a lot more jarring that's happening, and they probably get loose on you where it doesn't
Yeah.
get loose on me.
Yep. Yeah, they do. I mean, they say they stay in, both of them stay in way better than the AirPods, any of the AirPods that I've had with multiple replaceable tips on the pros and stuff.
Hmm.
But again, the other option, the other factor, the huge factor, even the renewed version, it's a third the price.
Yeah.
It's a half to a third of the price. So if I lose one of these, oh well,
I
if
can
I
buy
if I
two more sets.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I bought one of these because I messaged you, it was what, a week and a half ago. I came back from one of my long runs a couple weeks ago. I was like, I just lost I just lost my Jabros or my the case. I
Yeah.
thought I'd lost it because I was wearing them in my ears and I came home and I didn't even realize that as I was taking off my running vest, the first thing I did was I took it out of the case and set it aside in a unusual place. And I was like, and I forgot, you come back from a long run,
Hmm.
chances are you might be a little fuzzy and a little like, oh, what just happened?
Hmm.
And I completely spaced and forgot taking them out. I figured, shoot, it must have fallen out of my pack along the route and I didn't even notice it. Oh, oh. So I was like, well, even if I do find it, I don't want this to happen like the day of a long run and I don't have a spare, audio and stuff. So I was like, oh, let me look around, and it just happened to be like this was on sale today. And I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. And I don't regret it. So
Nice.
yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
I think that's about all I got today. How about you?
Yep, that is me.
Cool. Well, listener, if you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear it. If you want to hear us talk about a topic, if you've bought something that we've recommended and you don't like it, give us some feedback. We don't care. I mean, well, chances are pretty good we'll talk about it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, chances are. So if you want to find me, you can find me at paradigmcc.com, yogawithpeter.com, and friendswithbeer.com. I am Twitter. I am Twitter.
I am Twitter.
I am at Nikolaidis on Twitter. And if you want to find Adam, he is at sublimecomp.com. And now he is at rrlavenderfarm.com.
Yeah.
He's not just at Sublime anymore. Oh my goodness. But he is
Uh-huh.
still at Sublime Comp on Twitter. But is there an RR Lavender Farm on Twitter yet?
Not yet, but there will be.
Give me just a second. Type, 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 type. Well, soon you'll be able to find Adam on Twitter for his lavender farm business as well. But until that happens, Adam, I think so that you can focus on generating this new Twitter account, that you should push the big red button.
Boom.